Hello, it's Mike Sheely, middle school pastor at Mount Pleasant Christian Church. I just want to give you an update in case you missed the announcement last weekend. We're getting ready to switch from one weekend service to two weekend services for middle school ministry for students in grades 5 through 8. Now, part of the announcement not only was that that's happening, but that it's happening on Sunday, September 7th. So don't get too excited yet. Don't start changing things up. We got a month to go. But on Sunday, September 7th, the Sunday after Labor Day, that's when we'll be adding the 1045 service on Sundays to try to make room for more families. That means on Sunday mornings, September 7th and going forward, if you have a 5th through 8th grader, they'll be able to come to our service at 9 o'clock or at 1045. But before you decide which one of those you're going to do, or maybe didn't even think there was a decision to be made, I want to ask 3 requests of you as you process this new information. Number 1, if you or your child serve, whether that's children's ministry, worship and production, greeting, whatever it is on a Sunday morning, would you talk to that ministry leader before making a family decision? Ask them, what time do they need you or your child on Sunday mornings the most? It might be where you're currently serving. It might be that they actually would like you to move to the 1045 service for your middle schooler so they can serve at 9 o'clock. I don't know, but they do. So whoever's in charge of the ministry where you or your child serve, please talk to them and find out if one or the other would be most helpful. And they might even need you or some of you watching this to be flexible and say that you'll start serving at 9, but if the need is greater, that you can make that change at that time. So talk to the ministry leader and find out what time they need you. Second request I have is if number 1 is taken care of, would you consider being one of the 40 to go to the 1045 service? Here's what I mean. Right now, this summer, we have averaged 80 to 95 students in our middle school service on a Sunday morning. That's 20 to 30 higher than last year. So we're going to need some room as we want to reach more not yet believing families in our community. And we want to continue to help raising up disciples that are middle schoolers as they get to know and decide to follow Jesus. So what that means is we'll need at least 40 to 50 students to switch from 9 o'clock to 1045 as their primary middle school service if we're going to have kind of even services and to make room at both time slots for students going forward. So would you consider being one of those groups? There's no formal sign up. There's nothing to do right now other than to have a conversation. If it works where you're serving, consider being one of the 40 families we would like to move from 9 to 1045 as far as their middle schoolers go to help make room to reach more families. And then number 3, third request, once you talk to the ministry leader to see what Sundays are needed and you figured out, could you be one of the ones that switches to 1045, wherever you land, 9 or 1045, would you consider in September making that your new family habit or routine? I'll share more details later, but I know it's great to have 2 services on a Sunday morning. It's very convenient if you want to sleep in or you want to get an earlier start to your day. But would you consider saying we are a 9 o'clock family or we are a 1045 family when it comes to the middle school service? And here's why. I'm going to explain more in the coming weeks about some of the other changes happening in our middle school ministry into our weekend services, but we are reintroducing a small group element in the weekend service. Every weekend, students will have a chance to connect with their peers and a leader in a small group environment. If your middle schooler comes to the same service time week after week, they'll be able to build those close relationships, have great discussions, and grow in both their knowledge of Jesus and the church and their commitment to Him. If your family changes the routine up and like some weeks you come to this service at 9 and some weeks you go at 1045, they're going to be in a different group every time. And that lack of consistency is going to make it hard for them to trust, to build relationships, and to grow as much as they could. So I'm not saying never, ever, ever switch it up. As a family, as a dad, I know you need that flexibility. But could you make it the routine that most of the time you pick one service that your student will go to so they can build community and have the benefit and the blessing of being a part of the small group experience that will now be part of our weekend service? So to review, with the change of services coming in September, 3 requests for you to be processing right now. Number 1, would you talk to the ministry leader where you and or your middle schooler is serving right now to find out where they have the greatest need when all these changes happen in September? Number 2, if that works for them for you to switch to 1045, would you consider being one of the families that makes 1045 the new normal for the middle schooler's weekend service? And then number three, whether you end up at 9 o'clock or 10:45 in September, would you consider making that your family routine, your normal, so your student has the best opportunity with that consistency to build some relationships and grow in their faith in a close Christian community? Finally, remember all this happens September 7th. So you're going to get more information from me in the coming weeks. We're excited about all that's happening with this All In series at church, and we hope that you are too. If you missed last week, please go on and watch that video on YouTube. We've actually linked it in the description below. There's so much happening here. It's a good time to be part of Mount Pleasant, and we thank you for being part of the middle school ministry here at Mount Pleasant Christian Church. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.